I'm in Half Moon Valley on the finca, a little bit further down from the last fruit tree that I planted. You can see the video on that. It was a series of videos, and in the third in the series I gave an update on them. That's about 100 meters or 200 meters further up there, further up the Half Moon Valley. You can see that video in the link that appears here, the top right hand corner. If you want to situate this a little bit, there are some peonies through there, gorgeous peonies, which come up all over this area. Now this is a small terrace which I finally managed just in time to clear, and to clear a path down for the tractor to be able to plough and till this. The idea after this first ploughing and tilling is to operate under no-till principles or minimum till principles, but initially, because this is 40 or 50 years without being cultivated, the ground is mostly like this in the terraces, fairly inactive. I was going to say dead, but it's not dead, but it's inactive, because it hasn't been cared for. Controls of nitrogen, carbon and potassium and phosphates and everything that it needs, not as artificial additives but on the principles of cover crops, etc., haven't been practiced. So I just that's why I have initially turned it over with a plough and a rotary tiller, and mixed in some compost and manure, taking out a lot of the stones, but from here on out I want to try and practice no-till principles. What I've planted here in this little triangle here, I don't know how many square meters the total is here. It's about the smallest one I can get in with the tractor. It was even quite difficult with this because of the angles and everything to be able to till it. But this is planted with barley. I wanted to plant rye, but rye seed wasn't available, so I went with barley. Now this isn't this is a cover crop, so this is all a part of restoring the soil, restoring all of these, clearing, getting some biodiversity on here. I wanted to get something on here for this year rather than leaving it as bare earth. As I'd cleared it, I felt the urgency to not leave it as bare earth over the summer, but get something in there so that the roots are improving the soil biology, and with their organic matter, but with the chemical reactions to get like bacterium, fungi in there. I think the worst thing you can do is leave bare soil. And it's coming on quite well. We had an initial attack. It came out almost straight away. We had an initial attack, I think, from wild boar that decimated it. I didn't think it would recover, but I came down here with some more manure. I raked it over, and somehow, it's a miracle, there was hardly anything left. But they'd trodden, it must have been a lot of them. It could have been wild goat, it could have been deer as well, because they'd trodden every square centimetre of it as well. It had a massive impact on it, but somehow it has recovered, and is now doing pretty well. I should fence it off because I don't want that to happen again, but although it's only a small area, it's quite a long fence to do. Haven't had time at the moment, but now this is coming on. So this is going okay. I hope it works. I'll let this get to a metre or so high before I terminate it, and let it fall as I cut it, and it stays there. Right, so then all of this nitrogen rich foliage from the barley will rot back down into the soil, and I will follow that maybe by buy some winter rye and just keep cover cropping without retilling. Just keep cover cropping until I decide what we're going to plant in here. Might even be fruit trees, but we might use this as a little, well, the options are endless. Strawberries, fruit and veg, options are endless. It's probably a little bit small to make any usable grain crop work, because we can't process the grain ourselves, so that would be for sale. At the moment we haven't got, this would be big enough if it was for our own consumption, but at the moment we haven't got the knowledge, the skills or the equipment to use this grain to make things from it. So, but anyway, that's the idea of this, which I also want to do with this one and the ones moving further down here, bringing them back into cultivation, create a little bit of biodiversity. This is what we were dealing with before this was cleared. Just pine, rosemary, juniper, and there is grass here because we have the advantage of some subterranean, some underground water here, as opposed to, you know, the much dry conditions in other parts of the finca. So lots of hard work, slow process, but at least we've made a start here. We may leave, maybe do every other terrace. This continues running down, the terraces get bigger and bigger as it runs down. There are another, I think, 15 terraces of quite a good size running down here. I'm not saying we're going to eliminate the pines completely. We may leave some of those and do every other terrace. The challenge at the moment is I can't get the equipment that I need to do the groundwork into those, because as you see here, a river forms here in some of the heavier rains in some winters, not all winters, and at the moment this is impassable. We've got almost half a metre drop there, and it gets worse as you go down. So I've got to make repairs here before I can get the equipment that we need to cultivate down there to the other terraces. But for now I've done this one, and I'll try and do this one maybe in the winter. I don't think I can even get the tractor in here, it's too small. I can get it in, but it's just too small to manoeuvre with the tiller or the plough on the back. It's just, you end up doing more damage to it by compacting it with the tractor, because of the shape of it as well, which is the reason I didn't do it this year. We might need to get a hand cultivator in, a manual one, I mean perhaps a motorised one, but that's why that one wasn't done. So well, that one's looking promising with our barley in there, and a great pleasure after all the work to see it growing. It's just a fabulous thing.